welcome. Welcome to what is episode 1 of Dotty Sockery. I'm Susie. I'm coming to you from near Wolverhampton in the West Midlands, and I've got lots of things to talk about in my sort of knitty, crochet-y, crafty world. Let's get into it. So this is new. And this whole podcast idea came about after doing a little feature on my mum's podcast. So mum is Yarncraft. Hi mum. I featured on mum's podcast after the Southern Wall show and did a little bit about my haul and the things that I bought, and it got a really good reaction, and a lot of people were like, oh, you're really good at this, you should have a go. And I thought, well, let's try it, and the worst thing that can happen is it doesn't work, and we'll just have me being silly on the internet for, an episode or two, and we'll see. So yeah, if you haven't guessed by now, I'm a little bit bonkers, but you'll get used to that. So me as a person, I exist in a very sort of whimsical, witchy world. So a lot of what I knit and create is quite different. I have a bit of an obsession with butterflies, as you can tell. So there's a lot of butterfly influences and colours and things like that in the stuff that I do. So without further ado, let's talk about some of the things that I've been doing and sort of introduce you to my world a little bit. So I have some finished things first of all. So we'll do some finished things, some current projects and some plans and things like that. And I can talk about all the interesting things that go on in my world. And then we'll just see what happens. So mum had a stand at Yarndale recently. It's been a few months now. Was it the end of September? Cannot remember. But I went down on the Sunday to give her a hand, and I wore one of my finished objects, and it got a lot of attention. People kept touching it and asking questions about it. And here it is. So this is the Lease cardigan. I'm going to have to look up who that was by, because that was a Rachel Sogard pattern. I think I've pronounced that right. I don't know where she's from actually. I wouldn't like to guess. So this was a 4-ply knit with a lovely kind of lace panel in there, and it blocked absolutely beautifully. It took me about 2 years to make this, because I am the great procrastinator and I'm a very slow knitter, or was when I started. I've got better since then. So this project was really sort of, let's throw myself in the deep end and see what's the worst that can happen if I pick up a really complex project and just run with it. And this is the result. So the yarns are a combination of Ducky Darlings and Yarncraft. So this yarn is darker green at the bottom. I don't know how well that comes up on the camera, to be honest, but it's this dark green on the bottom. This is mum's. Cannot remember what it's called. I think it was something to do with forests. Cannot remember. And she can't remember either. And we had the same problem, because it's been such a long time. We had the same problem with the Ducky Darlings yarns, this one and this one. So this is Holly, this is a Ducky Darlings yarn, and this one is a Ducky Darlings yarn, although none of us could actually remember what that was either, which is fantastic. So it's been such a long time, and it's took such a long time to finish, but that is my finished object number 1, and I love it dearly. Sorry if you can hear the fireworks, it is bonfire night. I do live in a fairly built up area, so it's going to get noisy, and we're just going to have to tolerate it. We cannot fix it. Not the best night to choose to start this, really, I suppose, but we'll go with it. I should have said the date actually at the beginning. I can't remember whether I did or not. So finished object number 2. This was, now when I wrote these things down, it was not finished. So I've got to find it on my list. So this was the Oxford jumper by Fable Knitwear, and I used a homespun prism DK to do this. It's a little sort of cropped kind of jumper with a round neck and this very sort of puffy sleeve, and I fell in love with the sleeve on this, and I also fell in love with the yarn. I love greens and blues, specifically. I do a lot of dark colours as well, but this yarn was just stunning. I've got the label there. It was this one, and that is Blue Jade Lagoon. Is the shade, and it's merino superwash, 22% fine merino superwash, 22% alpaca, and the rest is sort of polyamide and acrylic and a little bit of viscose. So it's a bit of everything, this yarn, but it's really squishy, it's really soft, and it's really nice. And I don't use a lot of acrylic. I mean, there's only a little bit of acrylic in this, but I don't usually use a lot because I find it quite rough, and not in a good way. I like rustic yarns. I'm not keen on yarns that make noise when you knit with them or crochet with them. That sort of horrible squeaky noise that happens. Yeah, I hate that. So yeah, that's that one. So that itself, I have worn a couple of times now. I only finished that this week, but I've already worn it a couple of times over dresses and stuff. I'm a big fan of dresses and jumpers, so yeah, that's my other one. I think the only thing that I'm kind of sad about on this one is I did a very good twisted rib for the cuffs. However, I didn't finish well on the actual body, so I should have done twisted rib here too, but it's just that little bit too loose for me. It's very stretchy and it works, but I wanted it to come in at the waist a little bit more, and it doesn't do that. So I'm sort of sad about that, but I'm not sad enough to unpick it. I'm not sad enough to fry it or even, you know, attempt to fix it in any way, shape or form. It is what it is now. It exists, it's in the world, and that's all that's happening. So yeah, those are my two finished things. Current projects. So this is where you sort of get to see my quirkiness in terms of how many projects I have on the go at any one time. So what I'm going to show you is a small percentage of the projects I've got on the go, because I don't have time to do all of them, because that would be insane. I have this habit of getting really excited and starting something, and then sort of, oh well, I'm excited about this, I'll do a little bit on this, and then I see another pattern and I'm like, ooh, this is even more exciting, and so I'll start something else, and then I'll do it again and again and again, and yeah. And there's a few confessions in this one as well. There's some in this little section. So let's start with one of the things that I showed on the little snippet of a thing that I did for Mum's podcast. No doubt she will share this out, and I'll have all the followers watching, and which I'm quite happy about. Absolutely wonderful bunch of people that you are. So this was the Bellinate blouse by Queer Knits, and it's right on my street, this is, because it's a little bit odd. I like things that stand out and are a bit odd, and I'm not one for sort of very sort of beigey things. So I used for this the Ulysses yarn, which is one of Mum's yarns. It's a Utree Yarncraft yarn, and this is the colour that I designed, and it was basically created to mirror a Ulysses butterfly, which is a very sort of vibrant blue and black butterfly. I don't know if I've got the original picture that this was based on, but the yarn itself is lovely and squishy. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a Polworth. I've probably pronounced that wrong as well. Polworth, yeah, whatever. And it's a DK. and it's lovely, and it's squishy, and it smells lovely, and it smells really sheepy, which is another thing that I love. I love yarns that smell really sheepy. And I put a little bit of black at the bottom just to sort of set the whole thing off. And the pattern itself is sort of this crop kind of thing. I've bought again, I love things that come in at the waist. So I've brought the waist in a lot more than it would normally come in on the rib at the bottom. And I've done teensy tiny bit of colour work here at the bottom, which you can only just about see in this light. Yeah, just a tiny bit, just to sort of dip my toe in it, because I've not done a lot in the way of colour work, and I really wanted to see what all the fuss was about, and I think I did fairly well because I've got some floats there. It's not major, it's just a little kind of made up triangular thing that I just sort of added to it just to see. I do think that this particular row here with the blue floats is a little bit too tight, and it is tempting to sort of do something with that, and I think that's why the waist has pulled in so much. I think it's that one row, but it's I've got sleeves to finish on it, and that's about it. And I've got that on my Knit Pro what are they called? It's the Mindful, Knit Pro Mindful ones, and they're really nice actually. I do like those with my little bats. I love anything spooky, anything. I mean, Halloween is like my favourite time of year, so we've just been through that. I did originally record this on Halloween, and then the file got corrupt, so we've had to start again. And I've got that in a Yew Tree Yarn Craft bag, which is one of Mum's prototypes. I tend to borrow all the prototypes. Just benefits of you know, benefits of being in the family and all that. So yeah, whenever she makes a new bag style and she does a couple of prototypes, I tend to rob the prototypes. But they're very pretty, and I love the fabrics that she uses, so I'm very happy with that. I love anything that's green, and that's sort of, I was going through, I watched the Wicked film, and I was going through the pink and green thing at the time because of the Wicked film, and that was just perfect. So right, next thing, I have something that sort of in the shame pile a little bit because I've left it by the wayside for far too long. So this was Braided Sweater Scarf by Knititude, and I love this. It's a sort of wearable sort of, it's like a big scarf that has arms, and you put the arms in and wrap it around, and it's absolutely stunning. And I'm doing that in, again, it's so rare that I use acrylic, but that's actually an acrylic Aran. But I wanted to use the acrylic on this because I wanted it to be really hardy. And I've put, I don't know if you'll be able to see, fighting with it here. There's some little beads throughout. So the reason I wanted to try this pattern specifically, and I wanted the acrylic, was the cabling, which I've never done before. So this is a new adventure for me, and I haven't got particularly far with it. I've done sort of one sleeve side and this basically, and that's as far as I've got. It's on my Knit Pro Symphonies, and it's a little adventure, that one, into how difficult can I make my life. I've got some very, very pretty beads in various blues. I don't know if you can actually see that. I don't want to open it because they will end up everywhere, and I'm not picking beads out of my sofa. Yeah, so that's an exciting one. Trying something new, doing all the things. So the next one is a bit of a confession. I have a habit. I have a very bad habit of starting patterns, as I've said, and then forgetting about them for a long time. This is one of those, only with this one, not only have I forgotten that it existed, I've also forgotten what pattern this is. And I forgot that the yarns existed as well. So these are yarns that I bought, oh, I think it was wool at J13, quite a while ago. Again, I was helping mum out on a stall, so it was sort of, I tend to run off and do my purchases. So I didn't get very far, and it's a very, very tight, fine rib. And I love it because it's a really nice rib, and it's nice and stretchy, and I love the yarn, but I have no idea what the pattern is at all. I just don't know. I've got a little Moomin stitch marker. Look how cute he is. I got that in London. Yeah, little black cats as well on the needles, and that's on Zings, I think. So the yarns are, and I think I've even got these mixed up as well. So I've got John Arbon Harvest Hues, and that colourway is flax, and that's a four ply, and 33% Blueface Leicester, 33% Falklands Merino, and 33% Zwart something that I can't pronounce. There you go. if you can make that out. This light is not very good at all. I'm going to have to practice how to get the light right. So that was one of the colours. I had 4 colours in this little bag, and I don't remember buying several of them. So that was the other colourway. I think that was a John Arbon as well. Yeah, no. Too many things all at once. Yeah. So that was Burdock. So that's also a John Arbon. That was Burdock. It's the same same blend, just different different colourway there. And then I think it was that one. And then I had these. Yeah, it was. Then I had these two, which are Second City yarns that I don't remember buying. I remember talking to the lady from Second City. She's a very, very nice lady from Birmingham. Absolutely lovely woman. And that's her ball band there. So I've got Winston Green and Winston Green at Twilight. So they're 2 shades of this lovely kind of these vibrant greens. And they're really pretty. And I love greens, and I love all these 4 colours together. So if I just show you them together. I had a plan. I definitely had a plan, because they're all in this bag and they're all together. I don't know what that plan was. And I don't really want to frog it because it's such a good rib. And it's so stretchy, and I really like the yarn, and it looks good. And I've done really well with it, and I'm loath to rip it back because it's just I've just done so well with it. And I hate ripping things back, and it really upsets me to do it. I'll only do it if I absolutely have to. I'm a big believer in sort of trying to fix things as I go along if I find a problem. But yeah, I just don't know. So I'm going to go on a voyage of discovery with that. I'm going to go through my Ravelry. I'm going to go through, I've got my magic green notebook that I write everything down in. I'm going to go through that. I'm going to go through a few other things, and maybe next time I see you, we might actually have some answers. Yeah, so that's that. We won't go any further into that one. So let's pick up something that I'm actually really happy with. Right, okay. So this yarn is super cute. It's greys and it's got little rainbow sort of bits in it. It's, again, the light is terrible here. I do apologise. There we go. So it's this lovely kind of purpley grey kind of base with all these very vibrant hues in it. It knits up absolutely beautifully. And this is the Dragonfly Shawl by Boo Knits that I started. And again, I've not got very far with it, but I do really love it. I love the way the yarn knits up. It's a lace weight. I cannot remember where the colourway was from. I don't know whose yarn it is. I cannot recall. I just have it. I did have a second skein of it that I've given to Mum, so I may be able to find out what it is if she's still got the ball band on it. But I don't remember. I bought it from Yarndale back in 2022. I remember buying it. I remember what the store looked like. I cannot remember whose it was. So the pattern for this is Dragonfly Wings shawl, and it's so beautiful. It's got this kind of gothic-y, sort of almost bat-like thing to the again, it's really not great for the light. So it's got almost like a bat-like feature to the shawl. This sort of spiky bits, which I absolutely adore. And it's actually going really well. I just haven't had the time to do that much on it. So yeah, watch this space with this one. I'm going to keep going and see where I get to. But as it is a lace weight, it is pretty tough going because it's taken such a long time to knit up, but it'll be fine. It'll take its time, and we'll catch up with that one again another time. What have we got left? So my current project that I am knitting on frequently, because I've always got a favourite, is just a really sort of simple standard sock pattern. But the yarns are the interesting one on this, because I don't normally go for yellows, but this is one of Mum's tarot collection. It's a Utri Yarn Craft one. It is, where's the ball band? There it is. So, oh look, there's Mum's lovely little logo. Isn't it cute? Yeah, my nephew designed that. He's such a good he's such a good sort of artist, and I'm thinking about asking him to do me a little sort of logo and whatnot, just to see if I can get some kind of branding in place for this whole thing. Yeah, so that's the tarot collection. It's the High Priestess and the Pistachio Mint. So it is these little guys here, and that is on superwash merino and nylon, 85/15. Yeah, it's proving to be quite a nice pattern actually. It's just it's a sock pattern that started as one sock pattern and then ended as another. I think I started off with the toe as the toe that's on the Simply lacy socks, but then I didn't want to do the lace. I've already done a pair of those and it took forever. I love the lace and I love the pattern. And that's by, no, I haven't written down who that's by actually. That's not helpful, is it? But yeah, I did the toe as their toe, just a little sort of increased toe, and then I've just done a German short row heel, and then just carried on, and I've done a couple of decreases, and then I'm just starting on the rib at the top. So it's just a really basic sock pattern, but I've really enjoyed doing it because that yarn, just the way it knits up and how soft it is, it's just, I love this sort of, the way these colours just sort of meet and sit. And I've got my little, that's on my higher sharps at the moment, and I've gone down to a 2.25 for the rib because I want it to be really tight, and so both of them are sat in my little cat. And I've actually done two at the same time. So I've got the rib to start on this one, and that's got my little ghosts on. There's a theme here. And so I've done the two at the same time, and that will, I did make a bit of a mistake on the German short rows on this one. I have got a gap here, which I'm really not happy with. But again, I'm not unhappy enough to go and unpick it. I think I'll just pick that up when I sew in the ends for the colour change. I'm just going to find my way back to it. It's not that far away from the colour change from here, so it's, yeah, that's entirely possible. I ended up with extra short rows on one side and not enough on the other, so it's gone in a bit of a, I've got a weird dip here and then a gap here, so I think I've made a mistake somewhere, but I couldn't trace it back, and German short rows are so difficult to fix once you've broken it. I didn't want to try. So I thought, okay, I'll just live with that. And I just carried on. But I like the concept of everything that you knit having kind of like a little bit of a mistake in it. It makes it more individual. That's my theory. So that is my bits and bobs in progress. I do have more things. Actually, no, I'll show you one more. Knitting is probably my first love when it comes to crafting. However, crochet is like my go-to for tired days, times when I don't want to concentrate and I just want to do without thinking, because it kind of comes a bit more naturally. So this is the Neptune's Tears shawl by Anastasia Robertson. And it was actually a really hard pattern to find, because although it's on Ravelry, it's not on Ravelry anymore in terms of the pattern itself. I had to dig it out of an online archive, which is linked on Ravelry, but you have to go through a bit of a sort of thing to actually find the actual pattern. Just have a sip. Got my little Alice in Wonderland cup. I do have the saucer for that as well, but that, you know, it's not an occasion. It should be. Every day should be an occasion. So yeah, I'm doing this in a gradient. So it is wool. I can't remember exactly what it is. I don't have the ball band. And I can't remember whose yarn it is either. I will get better at this. I tend to chuck the ball bands like on, you know, in the bag or in the thing, but because this is sat in a yarn bowl with a cat on it, because of course it is, the ball band has gone walkabout. So, yeah. So this is the Neptune's Tears. So it's got solid panels followed by these lovely kind of lace panels. Again, you need to see it. Yeah, that's better. Let's put it in the light. I think this is going to take a bit of blocking actually, because it looks a little bit uneven with how I've crocheted it. And I think part of that is lack of concentration, because this is what I pick up when I'm tired. But I am going to make this very, very big. I do want to use the whole ball, and there's quite a lot there, considering I've only used sort of a small amount out of the middle so far, and we've only just into the second colour, and there are four colours in this. So there's the dark grey, and now like I'm in this kind of there's that dark grey, then I'm in this sort of beigey grey, and then there's a sort of lighter grey, and then the green. Oh, and there's a blue in there as well. I don't know if you can see that there's actually 5 colours. So yeah, I am planning to use the whole thing. Yeah, I do like the concept of having a big shawl. It sort of feels like, you know, you're wearing a big cloak or something. But yeah, that's that. So that is finished things and a few of the current things. As I said, I haven't done them all. It would take forever, and it sort of saves me for, you know, future things. I can sort of introduce some new things. So plans. There are always many, many plans with me. I have a very, very wavering attention span and an excitement for new things. So it happens a lot that I just sort of jump in and out of different things. So I also have a really extensive, I have a really extensive yarn stash, which I shouldn't have, but I do. And I'm very guilty of that. So some things I'm planning on doing. So at the Southern Wool Show, I picked up I did mention this on Mum's podcast, from Crochet UK, one of their mandala kits, and their yarns are just so pretty. I love greens, I love that whole sort of gradient thing, and they're little, they've got so many colours and so many different gradients to choose from, and you can make your own and all sorts, and I absolutely love the concept of that. I think that they've got really onto something there. So I have, where's the thing? There. So I have the circle, and I'm going to start a mandala with the green, and I've kind of been saving this a little bit, because to start with I wanted to start it straight away, and then I kind of had a bit of a word with myself, and I thought, well, I really need to finish some projects first before I start anything new. Otherwise I'm going to keep doing this jumping from project to project, never finishing anything type thing. So I finished the Oxford jumper. I've almost finished with those socks. I'm going to finish 2 more projects after that. Once I finish 2 other projects, I can then start these things, these plans. I have to rein myself in. That's one of my plans. I've got a couple of other patterns in mind, and I've got some yarns that I want to show you. So after doing Yarn Dale with Mum, as a sort of thank you for helping her out on the Sunday, she's given me some yarn. I'm very excited about this because it's in colours that I love. So this is Unikite. I can't speak. So that's a lovely True Yarn Craft one, and she's given me a sweater's quantity of this. It's a 4-ply superwash merino nylon 75/15, and I need some ideas for this. I don't know what to do for this one, but I'm really excited about the yarn because I just love the colours. So I'm going to be digging through Ravelry to find something to do with these. Very excited about that one. And I've also got that I bought at Yarndale, some of this stuff. It's Blooming Yarns. Now I love rustic yarns and things that look a little bit rough and feel a little bit rough. Not in the way that acrylic feels rough, but in that sort of oldie worldy kind of thing. So this is, it's got a little bit of acrylic in it. It's wooled acrylic, and it's, I don't know what that says, but in the colour 39945, and it's just this beautiful sort of whole bunch of dark blues, greens, and there's some reds and pinks in there as well, and it just feels nice, and it smells sheepy, and it's just nice. So, and it looks like it almost looks hand spun. It's not, but it looks it, and that kind of is really exciting for me. I'd want to do something, maybe like a rusticy kind of cardigan or shawl or something. That I've got 4 of them, I think, and they're 180 meters on each one. So there's enough there to do something relatively sort of significant, and I think it's a 5 to 7 mil needle, so you could do something fairly interesting with that. But we'll see. And again, I'm going to be searching through Ravelry for some ideas for that one. And the only other thing I thought that might be interesting to show you is some little crafty bits that I've picked up on Vinted of all places, because I love, as you've probably gathered by now, I love anything witchy or spooky, or, you know, I'm a little bit of a closet goth at heart. So I picked up some little things that there's a lady on Vinted that makes these. I will actually have to look up what her name is because she does lots of them. But look at these. They're just little yarn witches in little things, and they've got little umbrellas. And I saw these on Vinted and I had to have them. They're not particularly expensive, and you know, she makes quite a few of them, so she She seems, and I saw that one, and then I am a big fan of the Hocus Pocus films, and I came across this one at the same time, which is obviously the three little characters from Hocus Pocus, and again it's made from little bits of wool, and they're just little handmade things, and they're so pretty, and I had to have them, so I bought them. I might end up buying more of these. This whole sort of spooky concept is a bit addictive for me, so I'm going to find somewhere to put those in my house. So yeah, my house is full of witches and butterflies and spooky things, so very, very happy with that. And I think, actually, I've got one more thing on the needles which I might actually show you, because yeah, I'd forgotten about this one. This is my most recent thing that I've forgotten about. I was really obsessed with knitting on this until I got back into the socks and attention span. So this is the Anarchy. It's a cropped vest type top, and it's by Audrey Borrego Designs. And for this, I've just used a Valley Yarns 4-ply, which I'll show you the yarn in just a second. But the pattern I absolutely adore. So I've got the sort of lower body there, and I've just sort of split for where the arms go. And I've brought the neckline a little bit lower because on the pattern it's very high up here, and that's, yeah, on me that would look a bit strange, so with my body shape it would look better a little bit lower. But the thing about this pattern is this absolutely stunning herringbone rib that has taken me a while to do, but I really enjoyed the process of that. That's better, forget a bit, ignore the fluff on it. It's been in the bag. Everything in my house has fluff on it. I don't even own a cat. But then again, nobody owns a cat, do they? Cats own us. So yeah, it's got this lovely sort of herringbone pattern on it, and then it comes into sort of the main vest part, and then it gets sort of an I-cord strap. And I've just started the I-cord on this side here. It's very difficult to see because it's black, but I do love knitting things in black, even though it's more difficult. I've got that in one of Mum's very early prototype bags as well. Alpacas. And this is with a Huntington Valley Yarns yarn. It's 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. Can I show it? Is it going to do it? Yep. And it's really soft. It's super soft. It's super squidgy, but it splits so much. The pattern itself has driven me absolutely nuts because of how often the yarn has split, and I'm constantly having to go back and fix stitches because I've split yarn. And it has been a constant, even now, just sort of, yeah, you can, I don't know, yeah, it splits constantly, which is a massive shame because it is a super soft, really, really nice yarn. It's just really, really difficult to work with. So yeah, that is my last and final project. So I am gonna sort of leave it there. I've done good time considering. Not too shabby really for a first attempt. I don't know how well I will be able to edit this, so you might see a few bloopers in here and a few little silly things that I don't quite know how to edit out. If it's there, it's there. If it's edited well, you know, I'll just take credit for it. So, yeah, thank you for listening to me waffle. And hopefully this will be the first of many such podcasts. We shall see. But, yeah, have a wonderful yarny month, week time. I don't know how long it's going to be before I do another. We'll see how this is taken, and how it progresses from there. But yeah, I'm massively excited about this whole concept, so we shall see. But yeah, have a wonderful time, and I will see you soon. Thank you for watching.